I've changed my thought process from help to guide the viewer to when I go back and I'm finally critiquing my work, I don't even want to guide them. I want to lead them.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And, not always. Sometimes I want them to completely meander. But other times it's like, no, 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 stop going over there. We're going over here. And then once you get to this spot, then you can look around.
Yes, exactly. And that is successful composition right there. Which, whew, that's amazing. And also actually this leads into my next question, which is when you talk to your students and they're really looking to improve their technique and, find their artistic voice, which is something a lot of us are concerned about, especially at the beginning, what advice do you give them?
To have fun. That, I think that, a lot of schools are like, no, you have to paint this bust, of a figure in black and white for a year or two. You know this. I've already had this conversation with you. And that's great. I understand the technical side, but I don't think we should torture each other. I think you can just paint what you love and things that are interesting to you over and over and evolve. I think it's important to go, okay, maybe I have a weak point. I can get into that. But I really think leaning in towards our strengths and things that we enjoy. If art wasn't fun for me all these years, and especially in the early years when I was doing it blindly, like I was, being a bartender, being a waiter, doing all these things, and I would come home and paint for another 4 to 5 hours. I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
So I think that we learn through being focused in a way, but at the same time, have fun. But then also being very honest with ourselves. Sometimes that does mean being a little bit hard, but also being a caring parent, to ourselves and saying, you're working, you're trying. And one of my biggest sayings for myself is that every painting's about the next painting. That every painting's here to teach me something so that the next painting, I would like to think, is going to be better. But a lot of times it's just I'm learning a thing. I'm getting a little bit better on one tool. Maybe not the painting incomplete, but it's just every painting is about the next painting, and we have to have so many, unfortunately, so many bad paintings or less than successful paintings, and we have to thank them and just say, I appreciate your lessons, and on we go to the next one. And it's probably still going to suck, but at least I've learned a little bit of something, and it's going to be a little bit better.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, that taking that minute too at the beginning of my self-critique sheet is, what do I love about it? And there's usually something I love in every piece. But I'll be still heartbroken that it didn't, live up to my expectations and didn't do all the things. So then you go on and you tear yourself in the painting apart a little bit. But in the beginning, it is, thank you. What did I learn?
Yeah, it's the harsh reality of any craft is you're not gonna make a perfect anything for a while, right? Because you're learning. And
Mm-hmm.
having to make peace with that is it can be really hard, especially for I would say, from my experience, maybe you also maybe went through this, where a lot of people who start their career as artists or they're starting on that path of the artist, they think this is a bad painting, therefore I'm bad, right? Which
Absolutely.
is
Yeah.
it's such a dangerous thought to have because you're learning, right? So like what you said, being a good parent to yourself and giving yourself the space to be understanding that, hey, I don't think Da Vinci was perfect the moment he was born, right?
Right. No.
Yeah.